Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Monica Mancias. I am a Mexican, American, and British author living in the UK, and today I am visiting the Black Country Living Museum with my family. So I'm going to take a little tour around and show you a little bit of what there is to see here. The Black Country Living Museum is a sprawling open-air space that pays tribute to the coal mining history of the region, dating all the way back to the 18th century. But before we get going on this tour, just a quick reminder to like and subscribe to keep the channel going. The first part of the museum gives visitors a glimpse of what the working conditions of the mines themselves were like. Sadly, the mine is closed for repair today, so I can't take you inside. But if you ever are here yourself, I highly recommend the tour. And if you come for Halloween like I did, it is a scary, thrilling, and so fun experience. Here, we're looking at a reconstruction of a typical Edwardian colliery. Across the road is the old toll house, which was originally built in 1845 to collect fees from passing carts, and was eventually repurposed as a home to the widowed Mrs. Hotchkiss and her daughter Lillian, who grew their own vegetables and sold firewood to make ends meet. Next, we head down to the 1930s traveling fairground. Tokens are sold at the ticket booth, and there are a number of colorful attractions, including a carousel, a penny arcade, a shooting gallery, and a handful of family-friendly rides. All right, here we go. Can't come to the family fair and not get on a ride. So I am on the supersonic jet something. All right, which is just about my speed. I'm not a roller coaster kind of girl. All right, let's go up. Woohoo! Here we go. We're gonna pass the carousel. Not moving. I finally made it up. Woohoo! And now I get a beautiful view of the entire museum from up here. On the other side of the fairground, you exit onto a street filled with buildings replicating shops from the 1940s all the way through the 1960s. So let's head into this co-op first to take a look at the goods that one might have purchased back in 1949. This military surplus store is a recreation of one that resided in Stourbridge in the 1950s. The post office is a recreation of the Spring Hill Post Office and is filled with toys, gifts, sweets, and cards dating back to 1965. There are so many wonderful, quaint little shops to pop into down this street. But maybe my favorite, of course, being an author, is the free library. This one dates back to the 1950s and houses a collection of over 6,500 books, some of which some of my viewers might remember from their own youth or childhood. Next on our tour of the museum, we move further back in time to the 1930s, represented by a number of replicated shops and restaurants where visitors can stop for lunch or a bite or a drink. Just down the steps, you'll find more shops, including a bakery and a sweet shop that I highly recommend you stop into. They sell absolutely delicious treats. There's also a hardware store and a chemist, and several houses which give you a glimpse into what it would have been like to live in a town like this one almost 100 years ago. The Methodist Church holds choir rehearsals throughout the day. Let's just pop in and see if we can join in.
Self-clean. There are lots of girls beside that I'd like to be beside the sea, beside the sea.
A trip to the Black Country Museum would not be complete without their world famous fish and chips. So it's lunchtime. I'm about to dive in. Best fish and chips ever. Another attraction, which does come at an additional cost, is the underground tunnel tour. I actually didn't know this was here, so this will be my first time experiencing it. The guided tour lasts about 45 minutes and takes you through a number of tunnels and limestone caverns dating back hundreds of years. I was astonished to learn that miners were extracting limestone from one of the caverns as far back as 400 years ago. And if you're a fan of the show Peaky Blinders, you'll catch a glimpse of a familiar tunnel from episode 1 of the first season.
Past the point of no return, welcome to the Dudley Tunnel. 30 metres, and at the end of that...
The tour is filled with fascinating facts about the history of mining and the geology itself.
Into massive workings below us, and Tipton Mine is below us right now. There are two massive loading walls down there that used to serve the east and the west mine.
The tour is made even more fun by the colorful lighting throughout the tunnels. It's almost like going to see a light show, but deep underground. Here we get a glimpse of what the days were like for the miners and how perilous the work could be. This part of the museum is arguably my favorite. It's quiet, quaint, away from the hustle and bustle of the village center, and it gives you a real sense of what it would have been like to live in a Black country coal mining town with your family in the 1930s. Let's take a jaunt around the neighborhood and see some of the houses, the gardens, and just how they lived every day. At the end of the street, we come to the boat dock, which abuts the canal and houses a 19th century blacksmith shop. It's almost closing time, so let's finish our day with a silent film in the local cinema. This one is a classic Laurel and Hardy comedy, though they show different films throughout the day. That was the best day. I highly recommend, if you haven't been here before, that you come. It was just everything you would want in a day out with your family. Rides, historic attractions, movies, good food. Thumbs up for the Black Country Living Museum.